Hello. I've got a note for you. I've got a note for you, son. Nothing for you. You can smell.
Are you in my bag? Welcome back. Another video. So it's Saturday for a change. Saturday the 15th of November, and I'm out with Dave, me dad, otherwise known as Over the Hill Wild Camper. So make sure you watch his video. And we're following. Well, we've parked in Wedderleap car park, which is like a Northumberland National Park car park, or Northumberland Park car park. And we're following the border county ridge up to Windy Gyle or Windy Gyle, whichever way you want to pronounce it. And we're going to go on the Scottish side, and we're going to have a wild camp on the English-Scottish border. Got a fairly decent forecast, winds of about 10 to 15 mile an hour, so it shouldn't be too bad, although the name Windy Gyle is a bit ominous.
Makes you suspicious, doesn't it?
And the videos I've watched, it does tend to be a bit windier than you expect, but anyway, we'll survive. So yeah, we're going to head up there. It's about 2 o'clock, sunset's about 4, so we don't want to be hanging around too much. So I'll stop waffling and I'll see you when we're there. Right, that was the final pull up to the border ridge, and we're just approaching the English-Scottish border. At least for the time being, we still don't need a passport across this one. Right, well that's Windy Gyle. Yeah, and it's 4 o'clock and sunset is 4 o'clock, so we've left it a bit tight for time. So we better not part on too much and get our tents up. Wasn't meant to rain. Don't know if you can see behind us, but the skies, it's like Mordor, it's black. Also, I don't know if you saw that absolute mess that I was doing there, putting that tent up, but the ground's really, really rocky, and I haven't been able to get my pegs in very far, and they kept pinging out. Anyway, starting to spit on, so I'm going to get all my stuff in the tent and get ready and get some warm clobber on. Right, sorted, all unpacked. So I've if you watched last week's video, I was moaning about that lightweight bivvy bag sliding around. So through the week what I did was, on the underside of it I put lots of stripes of silicone, and then also on the inside back of it the same thing, lots of crisscross stripes of silicone. So I'm hoping that's going to help the bivvy bag not slide all over. Plus I am on a bit of a flatter, quite a bit of a flatter pitch this week, so I don't think I'll have the same bother. I've also, I don't know if you can see here, they've got like little guys, and I've put some little shepherd's hooks in on the top and at the bottom, so with a bit of luck that'll stop us sliding all over. The forecast, it's forecast to get down to about 1 degree I think in the night, but I've still brought just me enlightened equipment 30-degree quilt, but because I've got the bivvy bag, that'll well, lightweight bivvy, that'll add a bit of warmth to it. Plus got me long johns, and I'm not a cold sleeper, but we'll see how we manage with this. But it's probably be the last time I take the quilt out. I think we were back in the old Rab sleeping bag after this week. Anyway, I've got to go out, I need a wee, and then I think we'll have a coffee and the obligatory cheese scone, so I'll see you then. Right, well I've just transferred across to Dave's tent. It's the ground, like I was saying, is very, very stony, so it's difficult to get a good pitch, and as you saw when I was putting mine up like Frank Spencer. But so Dave's in is a little bit saggy.
It is,
but to be honest, it's so big in here, I don't think that's a problem.
No, I just moved my bed to where the sag isn't.
Exactly, aye. So anyway, he's got his knock-off jet boils on, and then we've got a couple of the world famous
cheese scones,
and we'll get warmed up, and then we've got a Trangia masterclass. I'm not sure where we're going to do that yet, like.
Exactly. We'll have to see the.
We'll have to work out. To be honest, that there might be a good place. Anyway, we'll work out where we're going to do it, and then we'll see you then.
It's going to be a bit cramped no matter where we go.
Aye, it's going to be cramped wherever we are. Don't think we're going to risk cooking in that shelter. It's been spitting on my rain, so I think we're going to try or attempt to cook in Dave's tent. We're going to do cock au vin on the Trangia. Right, we're in Dave's tent again. We had a look in that shelter on where the cairn is, or where the trig point is, but where it's wet, and I'm not confident it isn't going to rain again, so we've decided to try and cook in Dave's tent. To be fair, the vestibule in this tent's pretty big, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And the inn is fairly big, so we should manage fine. Anyway, so I've got the Trangia again. This time I've got the big one out, the 25. And we're going to do cock au vin. So I'll just run down what we're going to do. So I'm going to basically chop up 2 shallots, saute them, then put in some smoked pancetta, and then we'll put in some mushrooms, then some chicken thighs, some seasoned flour to thicken it, a stock pot, and some tomato puree, and then we'll add some red wine, and then once that's cooked, we'll then cook some white rice, basmati rice, and we'll use the coq au vin as the lid for the rice, and then that's it. So I'll try my best to film as we go. Right, so I started with the pancetta. I should have said that before. So we get the pancetta cooked, get some flavour in the pan, get rid of all the water, and then we'll put the shallots in. Right, so that pancetta's nicely browned, smells lovely. So now we're going to put in a shallot. It's a good big banana shallot. Well, actually there was two, but half of it was manky, so it's the equivalent of one big banana shallot. That's it. So we'll get this shallot softened nicely, and then the next stage is we'll put in some mushrooms. It's just spitting on with rain on and off, so it's just as well we're doing this in the tent. Right, so them shallots are nicely softened. So I've got about 3 or 4 mushrooms I've sliced. We'll get them in. Like that. So we'll soften them for a bit, then we're going to put the chicken in. And I've got basically just 2 chicken thighs which are skinned and boned, and then I've chopped them up into like bite-sized pieces. Right, so the mushrooms obviously disappearing rapidly. So now we'll move on to the next stage, and I think what we'll do, we'll put a little bit of tomato puree in. I'm not going to put the whole thing in because it's a big pot. So maybe just like a equivalent of like a dessert spoon, and then we're going to cook that out and then put some seasoned flour in just to thicken it up. Right, so that tomato puree is cooked off nicely, so now we're going to put the seasoned flour in, and we'll just cook that out as well. It's smelling marvellous. And the next thing we're going to put in is one of them stock pots.
That's the red wine, Ian.
Right, so the GoPro shut itself off even though the battery wasn't flat. It must have got cold, but it's not even that cold, which is annoying. So yes, I've put the stock in, and we've just put the can of Malbec in. So we'll let that come up to the boil. I think we need to put a bit more, perhaps a little bit of water in there as well. Right, so in the kerfuffle of the GoPro going off, I was putting the stock in and the tomato paste. I then put the wine in before the chicken. So I'm going to now introduce the chicken. It doesn't really matter, but I'd rather the chicken would have gone in before the liquid. So that's, like I said, 2 chicken thighs chopped up, skinned and boned. I've added a bit of water as well, and now we'll let that come up to the simmer, and then we'll put a lid on it and give it about 15 minutes, and then we'll start thinking about what we're doing with the rice. I think we might have a pork scratching starter now. Right, there we go. Right, so the coq au vin's it's cooked pretty much, so we're going to use it as the lid for when we do the rice. So Dave's just boiled his jet boil to get some hot water, and now we're going to swap the pans around. So I'm just going to turn my head torch around so I can see what I'm doing. So I'll take the lid off this, put it there. Dave, if you get that hot water. So in there I've got about 70 to 80 grams of rice per person, and then twice that in water. So then we'll put the lid on it and let it simmer. And I'll use the simmer ring. I put a big pinch of salt in that rice as well. So yeah, I'm gonna put the coq au vin on the rice as the lid, and then put my pan on the coq au vin as the lid for the coq au vin, and we'll bring it up to the boil. Once it's come up to the boil, then we'll put the simmer ring on, and then we'll let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Right, so the rice has had about 20 minutes. I had to put more alcohol in the stove because we noticed the flame had gone out. So I'm going to turn the lid off, and we're going to take the coq au vin off. Then I'm going to just stir up the rice. Yeah, so all that water's gone now. I've timed that pretty well. So I'll just fluff that up. We'll take that off there. We'll give the coq au vin a bit of a blast. And I think, while that coq au vin's having a blast, I think we can start to dish up. Right, so once I've dished it up, I'll show you a picture of it, and then we'll see what Dave thinks of it. Right, so I've divvied up. Let's have a look at Dave's plate of dinner.
It certainly looks nice.
So that's coq au vin with basmati rice. Do you want to give it a whirl, Dave? Well, what do you think of that then?
Lovely that.
Eh?
Lovely that. Just as a matter of interest, did all the red wine go in here?
Yes.
Ah.
Gourmet French cuisine at Windy Gyle in a Durston X-Mid on a Trangia. Right, we're going to eat this before it gets cold, and then I'll see you back at my tent.
In extremely demanding situation.
Yeah, life-threatening situations up here. Right, well, we finished our dinner, and I must say, and I always say it, it was very, very nice. And I'm back in my tent, and it's, what time is it now? It's only 10, well, it's 10 to 8. So I'm going to listen to the radio for a bit, and then I'm going to try and have a good night's sleep. Bit of an update on the old Bivvy bag situation. I mean, I'm not on a slope, but even previously, even when I've been flat, it's sort of, when you move, it's slipping all over. I think I might have solved the problem. So the combination of putting the silicone down, it's clearly gripping, and pegging out the four corners, I think I might have solved that problem. So yeah, I'll let you know in the morning how it goes. Otherwise, I'll see you in the morning. Night night. Well, morning. It's about, well, it is 6 o'clock in the morning, because my alarm clock's just on my wrist's just woken us up. And I say woken us up, it didn't really wake us up because I was already awake. But I think I definitely slept better this time than the last time, and the last time I slept better than the previous time, so it's getting slightly better. My dad's just said it's the best night's sleep he's ever had in a tent. I don't think I could go that far, like. But it's, although it's camped at Windy Gyle, there's literally no wind. And then the other puzzling thing, so there's no wind, and inside of my tent is bone dry, not a drop of condensation at all. So sometimes I can't understand that, like, because it was drizzling on and off last night, and there's no wind, so you'd expect a little bit of condensation, but not a bit. I think outside it might be a bit damp just because there's been a bit of rain, so I'll probably still have to dry it when I get home. Anyway, I've got the kettle on. I'll have a coffee, have some breakfast, and then we'll start getting packed up. I'm not sure what time sunrise is, but I'd imagine it's about 7:30ish. Anyway, I'll get on with this.
They're getting less physical ones. They are indeed. So that's tenuous. Interest me. Bronwyn Taylor. So I try to pay cash in small shots so that they don't have to pay a percentage. I found it in the gutter one day. Thought it strange it had just turned off after all that time. Image shows a hen and a cockerel. Big and your clock. A handwritten when I was 22. I'm 63 now. Yeah. I think we all get that one, don't we? Yeah.
Well, I'm out my tent. I'm totally packed up inside the tent, so I'm going to drop the tent now. I've had to switch to my phone because my GoPro keeps shutting itself down, even though it's got 54% on the battery. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you how shite GoPro batteries are, or GoPros are, full stop. So anyway, I'll stop twisting. So, Windy Gyle, and there's not a breath of wind hardly. Very lucky. I bet this doesn't happen very often. So yes, I'll drop the tent, and then when we're about to go, I'll bring you back. But yeah, so far, so good. Brilliant camp. Right, well, we're all packed up, and as always, we've left no trace. You can see the cairn above us, and it's 10 to 8, so the sun's up, but there's certainly no sunrise. It's pretty grey. But that was a really good, nice, calm camp. So probably the coldest one we've had so far this winter, but it wasn't cold. Like, there's no frost or anything like that, and we're very lucky, no wind. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'm not going to blabber on too long. Please leave a comment, ask any questions. Happy to answer them, or any advice for us, feel free to leave it. Otherwise, I'll see you on the next one.
See ya.